Hi guys. So I'm to the point I'm kind of hiding because this is a lot for me to take in right now. I'm pretty much putting out there my writing and realizing, Cheyenne, you're not a great writer. Because I'm not. If you watched any of the other ones, it hasn't been going so well. This is only like half my stories. Some of them are still written on notebooks from a long time ago, so you'll probably never see those ones unless I get them into Google Docs. But for now, the ones I do have here, these, I don't know how to feel. I'm almost emotional. It's that terrible. So this one is called Purple True. Short summary. I know there's more than one chapter, but of course we're only reading one. And I think this is actually one of my stories on Meba and Wattpad. So this is one of the ones that actually were decent enough to pass on to Wattpad. Not saying Meba's not a good place to post things. I just was on Meba before I was on Wattpad, and I only moved the ones that actually got reactions on Wattpad. I mean Meba to Wattpad. That was a lot. If this is decent, which I'm hoping, I do have one that's super popular that I haven't read, and I want to keep it for last to prove to you guys that I'm not a terrible writer. But it's to the point that I might just have to do it tonight so you guys actually do understand instead of just waiting another day and thinking I'm this absolutely dreadful writer who needs to just give up on writing, not life. Give up on writing, which is life. So let's see if I can do this without crying, because I will. Purple True. It's about a girl who has a past she wants to forget, but something won't let her. And even after moving out of her small town, things she never knew came to light. Okay, that seems decent enough. It didn't sound weird. There are little errors in the spelling, but the sentence structure isn't bad. Okay, here we go. Loading. Oh, come on. Why is internet so slow? Okay, here we are. Chapter 1. It's True. Another title. Okay. Light burns my eyelids as light from the rising sun came through a window. I hissed and turned over quickly, covering my head with my blanket. I slowly start to drift back to my very need to see dreamland when my alarm goes off. I sigh and turn off the alarm. I push the blanket off of me, place my hand on my stomach, and I run my hand slowly over it. I let out a slight and deep, meaningful sigh. I force my aching body up and out of the bed towards the bathroom. An hour later, I make my way to the kitchen table and sit down. Morning, sweetie. How did you sleep? My dad said. That was a man. Morning, sweetie. How did you sleep? My dad said from across the table. I smiled a little and take a quick sip of orange juice. Okay, Dad. Just a little tired, that's all. You should have just rested another day before going back to school, he said, looking at me worried. Dad, I'm fine. If I miss one more day of school, I'll start to panic. I joked a bit. He sighed and nodded. Okay, as long as you are ready. Okay, as long as you're ready. I just nod and eat a few bites of breakfast. Anyways, your mom will be taking you to school, he says as Mom walks downstairs into the door holding her keys. Let's go. I'm gonna be late, she said impatiently. I finish and grab my uh, backpack. I wave to Dad and quickly make my way to the car. Care. Make my way to the care. One error. I can deal with that. The faster we go, the quicker the ride will be over. Which I'm sure my mom was thinking it too. So I probably should go like this when she's thinking thoughts. I don't know. I stand outside my front class, nervous as hell. I take a deep breath and imagine walls forming around me. When I feel calmer and ready, I open the door and walk into the loud classroom. The moment I step in, the noise disappears. I look around the class as they look at me. Then as quickly as it stops, the noise starts up again and everyone goes back to talking. It was like I disappeared. I mentally sighed in relief and found a seat and sit down. I just kept telling myself I keep low and quiet, no one will notice. But of course, that's not happening. Happened. That's not happened. Hey, Prego, a girl says. My heart stops. Why me? I slowly look up. Now, if I ignore her, the situation could end up worse. What are you doing in here? Bad word. The girl says. I'm new, I say quietly, but loud enough to reach her ears. She looks at her girls, then back at me and laughs. No, you're fat. And then another one. Wow, I was aggressive with this antagonist. I wanted her mean, so it gets across, obviously. I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube, so I don't say them. I don't even care if you're allowed to say them. I don't say them. I mean, what are you doing in this class? Fat people go to the fat school, not here. She laughs more, and her girls join in as a few snickers are heard behind me from boys, but the laughs and snickers are stopped by the teacher walking in. The girl and her friend walk past me to their seats. The leader speaks again, though before she sits down. Stupid B word. Obviously, I was really wanting that character to be aggressive to get the point across. And sometimes you have to. I made it through the first half of the day with no more issues. At least, not a word was spoken directly to me, which relaxed me a bit. My stomach moved, and I placed a hand on it to calm it down. I made my way to the lunchroom quickly, and as unnoticed as possible, I made my way to a few empty tables and sit in the furthest spot possible from everyone else. I put out my already made lunch and start to munch on it slowly. A few minutes later, when the feeling of the lunchroom shifts. Oh, a few minutes pass when the feeling of the lunchroom shift. Oh, sorry. I think I got acid reflux, sorry. Voices got quieter. People in their seats sat straighter. The room goes from loud and lively to quiet and controlled, which made me shrink down in my chair. A moment later, the door opened and an ocean of students flow in. They skip over the food and go straight to the tables in front of me that were left open. They laugh and joke as they take their already set out seats. I watch as they surround the supposed center of their group. Once the whole group is seated, a few of the students who are here first get up and sit down next to a few of the new students. One of the students who sit down is the girl who called me B word. She sits down in front of a guy that I shouldn't front of a guy that I couldn't quite see, but seems like one of the supposed centers of the group. As she sits down, the guy's arm wraps around her waist and pulls her close. The guy's head is on her shoulder with his face in the crevice of her neck. You guys don't stop it, do you? I really probably should just shut the door, but she closes her eyes and enjoying it. My stomach acts up at the sight of her getting a hickey. Ooh. This is still PG, so we're good. As long as it doesn't get further than that, I will stop. I'm pretty sure I didn't go further than that. I quickly get up and make my way to the door, as unnoticed as I can. I almost get there when I feel eyes on my back. I quicken my steps and open the door when I hear someone say stop. I run through the door and make my way to the bathroom and hide. I wait for a few minutes and listen. When I hear no one coming after me, I start to calm down. As I do, I remember why I left the lunchroom in the first place and quickly enter a stall and hunch over the toilet, emptying my stomach. I rinse out my mouth and lean against the side of the sink. I relax and slowly run my hand over my stomach to calm it down. Then when I'm sure I won't throw up again, I start to head to my next class. Surprisingly, I'm going to pause. Surprisingly, this isn't bad. I think I found one that's actually decent. No wonder why I put it on Wattpad, now that I think about it. I get into class and sit in the front of the room. I slide down in my seat and wait for the class to start. As I wait for the students who seem normal quickly make it to their seats and whisper to each other. A few minutes later, the more popular group walks in and takes their seat in the back, like I expected. I stayed hunched over my desk as class starts. Pause. So obviously I have a whole deal with popular people, but a lot of books do, so that's not abnormal. Continue. Okay, so today we are going to be moving on to something you all have been looking forward to, the teacher says. The popular students stop what they are doing and focus on the teacher now. So now that I got your attention, your full attention, what we will be focusing on is the mating assembly. What? No. These dogs are not gonna stop. Hey! Okay, I have to go. But that's enough for now. Dogs!